Welcome back to the Backstop Built channel. Today I have a really special guest, and he is a player I worked with inside the Backstop Built Blueprint, our remote catching training program. And I am so excited to interview this player today. He is a player I've spent a lot of time with, grown a great relationship with him and his dad. And Connor is amazing. And I'm really pumped to highlight his journey through our program, but his overall story and where he's at now. So stick to the end and you'll be able to see exactly how we're able to make amazing progress, where he was before, where he is now, the process we went through. And I'll even give you an offer for if you guys want to see more in depth about the system we use, you can. But today we're going to be doing an interview with him and I am super stoked. Connor, thank you for being here, man. And without further ado, let's hear from him.
Hi, my name is Connor Mallon. I'm a sophomore, class of 2029. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I worked with Brock the last 6 months, and it was an amazing experience.
Connor, I appreciate that, dude. That means a lot. I think it was an amazing experience for us here at Backstop Built and coaches overall. I know you've made an amazing impact on the program with your work ethic, showing up each day and the progress you made. And I can't wait to see how that's going to pay off in season this next year, dude. So congratulations. You finished the program. Dude, how does it feel to go through it and with where you are now compared to where you started?
Feels great. When I started, I was more dependent on the people around me, I'd say, mostly my dad. I was moving around not as much from practices and going through Brock with Backstop Built. Not only did it help me increase my skill level, it also helped me as a person and the discipline and the accountability on myself. Now I'm more mature to go out and practice on my own, tell my dad when I want to practice. That's treating me more of a college player instead of a teen going fresh into high school.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Absolutely. And let's actually start there, dude. Let's start with where you were before you even came into the program, like when you got to me, your exact grade and just kind of where you were in your career and your catching.
Starting with it, I'm pretty sure I was going into my freshman year of high school, or I was in my freshman year. Um, I was I had some tweaks to fix, I'd say definitely on my throwdowns 100%. That's where I really fixed with Backstop Built and also the discipline I'd say at the start was definitely big.
Yeah. What would you say your biggest struggles were in catching specifically?
My biggest struggles would have to be the confidence and the throwdowns.
Okay. Yeah, because when you came to us, dude, like your receiving and blocking was pretty good for your age. Because you made varsity your freshman year and you got some good playing time on there, correct?
Hmm.
At a pretty good program in the LA area. Yeah. So dude, you already were a high level like freshman going into a good program. And I know like your biggest thing, you're like, okay, I want to improve my throwing. Um, let's kind of talk about that and you know what we're able to fix in your throwing and then what the results were.
So we're able to fix was staying more in the like a smooth movement. I had kind of stops in my throwdown movements. Also with the transfer, I was big on getting big with my movements. My arm would get loopy and my front side would get kind of like a pitcher. And the whole thing, I was just inconsistent in my throwdowns and it was just it's all over the place, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah. What was your before pop time on average?
On average, like a 2.3, 2.4.
Yeah, yeah, I know that was like kind of eating you up. We had a few talks where you were like, yeah, The one thing that makes me feel like I'm not like a varsity caliber catcher as a freshman, and just dude, your receiving and blocking is so good already, and I know we are able to make it even better. But then you had this like pretty big gap for throwing. So, let's kind of skip to the results now. Where's your pop time now? What's your best? And then what would you say it's chilling on average?
My best pop time right now, I was able to drop it to like a 2.0 to a 1.9 in game. My average is between a now a 2.2 to a 2.1.
Dude, I am so proud of you, man. The fact that you hit sub 2 O's is amazing. Amazing, dude. And I calculated a few from when you and I were doing that training session as well. And dude, there's some really good pop times on there as well, man. Sub 2 O's. So, man, I'm so proud of you. How good does it feel to have your throwing improved like that?
Feels great. Now that I have 3 strong mechanics, I feel like a top catcher. I can go into games with full confidence and everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's kind of go into the receiving and blocking as well. I know you're pretty confident in those before. That was already a high level skill of yours. Now, what progress have you and I made, and what are the results in those categories to make them even better?
For receiving, I'd say more smoother and in one motion. I used to kinda I wasn't used to kinda catch and then go kinda receiver. Now I'm able to sit back more and track the ball into one fluid motion. And for blocking, I'm able to see the ball better and able to react faster onto each side. That's definitely was a big thing for me. And I'm also now to situate my body better towards the ball because I had a kind of a tweak of when I wouldn't go all the way to the ball and it would just kick off to my side.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you say you're more confident in like blocking, receiving, and knee down stances, and maybe even throwing than
Yeah,
you were before?
much more confident.
Nice. Nice. Dude, if you had to compare, okay, the version of Connor before he got in the program and then the version of Connor you are today as a catcher, physically and mentally, how would you compare those two?
I would compare the first Connor to a freshman just getting his feet wet inside the high school program to this Connor getting ready to go into D1 college, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, how good does that feel to say, man? That's insane.
Feels great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, as a coach, it's like, that just hypes me up. You know what I mean? As a player, it's probably hard to like feel, I don't know. You're in the day to day, you're still doing it, But
Mhm.
dude, like, let's just take a moment and appreciate how awesome that is, man. That is amazing, Connor, and that's the hard work you put in and, the results you were able to get, and I'm very proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Very proud of you. So I know obviously your big goal, you're going into sophomore year. What's kind of the roadmap ahead for you? Do you have the varsity spot, um, locked down going into sophomore year? And then, like, what's your next big goal for college?
As of right now, I pretty sure guaranteed the varsity spot as a starter behind the dish. And where I want to go is I just want to keep building up, just getting myself better and eventually have my name like at the top where everyone's or I'm getting looks by like every college.
Heck yeah. Dude, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Um, I I'm so proud that now you're, like, on that right path, you know? That, like, now you're going towards that trajectory of someone who can actually achieve that, man. So that's amazing, Connor.
Thank you.
It's amazing. What would you have to say about the program itself, working in it? What were some of your favorite parts? Maybe like the daily plan, evaluation, one-on-one support, video analysis, or community. Like, what would say your favorite part in the program was that helped you the most?
Favorite part? helped me the most was definitely the consistency of the practices and the lessons. Because coming in, I didn't have that much consistency. I had maybe one training a week and then plus little things throughout the day. With Backstop Built, I was able to have lessons every day, this consistency, and I was able to also build up the discipline on top of that with the accountability. And you just really can't find that anywhere else.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that because I feel like we try and put in the most amount of effort for you, dude, or just any player. And, you know, there's times where you're more motivated, more disciplined than others, but the way you're able to finish was amazing. Like, dude, way higher version of yourself. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm very proud of, dude, just how you went through the entire duration with us, the ups, the downs. And now we're talking about the progress you made and you're happy. So I think that's great. I think that's absolutely great. What would you have to say about the relationship you and I were able to build um, throughout the program?
I think we are able to build a strong relationship over like ups and downs, starting from when I was inconsistent on turning in videos or putting in every lesson to when we talked about it, like something clicked in my brain where I was like, yeah, I this needs to change. And after that, I was able to just kind of completely change how I worked. And I was able to once I had everything going and everything just felt great.
Dude, I I'm so glad you were able to have that, like, realization because 'cause you're already working pretty hard, but I'm like, "Man, Connor, there's way more out there for you. I know you
Mhm.
can go even further." And that's what you did, dude, and, I hope that's what you continue to do because that's awesome, and man, that's not a lot of players figure that out, especially guys like you that are in a really good baseball state, and area in LA, and you wanna play D1 baseball. You already got to make varsity as a freshman, and now you're gonna be like the outright starter as a sophomore going forward.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're in a really good position, but it was like, "Hey, let's take your skills to the highest level to take advantage of this opportunity you have." Um, and I meant to ask you, like, what's your dream school you're gonna be striving for?
Dream school. As of right now, I don't have an exact dream school I wanted to go to, but I did have some options that crossed my mind, like UCLA, Vanderbilt, and Texas A&M.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you're a UCLA guy instead of USC? Like, if both of them offered you, you'd go UCLA?
I'd go to UCLA.
That's sick. Dude, it's funny you say that. So growing up, I grew up in Colorado. I've never been to California up until, like, my I was in college. I played at a school in Phoenix, Arizona, where we would travel to Cali a lot. But as a kid, dude, I was obsessed with UCLA. I still have a bunch of, like, their merch, like, jerseys and blankets, because when I was a little kid, I went to Omaha, and they were a team there in, like, 2000 and, like, 8, dude. I was so young, and I just fell in love with the powder blue and yellow. I was just like, "This school is so cool, I wanna go there." So dude, maybe you can carry out my dream for me and go there, alright? Because
Yeah,
I didn't get
definitely,
to go there. I had a different journey, but dude, that's awesome, Connor. I think that's great, and, you know, that
definitely
you're in
striving
a
for.
really good position. Yeah, yeah, you're in a good position, man. You're in a really good position. So, overall, I guess, like, just to kinda talk more about the results you achieved throughout the program so someone who's watching this can understand, what would you say in each category, confidence, and just, like, maybe just overall as a catcher?
What I've achieved was mental toughness, confidence, and just overall trust in my own skills, especially going into games. I never before backstop, I'd never really had the exact confidence on my mechanics. Like my receiving's great, my throwdowns aren't. And I every time I had a throwdown, I hesitate, and that would just make myself make the error. And then after, I'm able to trust everything. I'm able to, yeah, I'm a guy that can receive and block a ball. Oh, you're running, I can throw you out. I just have the confidence in everything now.
Dude, That is amazing, Connor, because you only get one career and one chance to play this game, and now you get to play it with confidence with the big opportunities you have. And you get to know you belong, and you get to know you're good, and you're going to do huge things. And that is something that makes me as a coach just very fulfilled to see for you, man. Because being able to play this game with confidence and believing in yourself is huge. And I think that's the biggest thing I've seen out of you unlock. Throw away the pop time that you increase or decrease, put away the receiving, the blocking. Like, yeah, you made great progress there, dude. But what you uncovered from within is what I'm most proud of, man. So congrats.
Thank you.
It's absolutely awesome, Connor. You're a stud. You're an absolute stud, dude. You need to know that. So for someone watching this who might be like a version of you, Connor, before you got in the program, very similar to you, what would you have to say to them right now about if they're curious about getting in to Backstop Built and they're kind of on the fence?
I'd say take it. It's it might seem a little much at first, but it will involve your entire play and just change the change the player you are.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. So would you recommend this program to another catcher who is curious about like really taking their skills to the highest level?
Yes, especially if they're looking for consistency.
Nice. Okay. Who is this program for, dude? Like, what type of catcher would get the best results from this program?
Say a catcher who is just first looking for the next level, and also a kind of a catcher who is just loves the game, loves practicing, not a guy who's like, yeah, I'll train, but it's it's whatever. A guy that loves training, loves seeing the effort, and then loves the journey of it and the just the getting better every day.
Yep, absolutely. What type of catcher would you say this is not for? Who would not benefit from going through this?
I'd say catchers who don't benefit are people who lazy, not looking, not willing to take like the long journey. People who aren't ready to like practice every day who and and yeah, just not ready to take that step.
I totally agree because, dude, I mean, you probably know this, Connor. Like, if you go through this program and you're really lazy and not disciplined, like, you're not gonna have fun after a while.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, holy moly! Like, I look at you as a hardworking kid, and like even when you had ups and downs, and there's still times when you're probably like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, or I don't feel like going through this with intention. And that's okay. Like, dude, there's gonna be ups and downs throughout the duration. It's more of like, okay, once we get past the duration you've committed to, like 6 months, you're gonna thank yourself if you go through it. And would you say right now, Connor, you're happy with the way you went through it and like the results you've seen?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. If you had to put into one sentence the impact Backstop Built's able to have had on your career, what would you say?
One sentence, I'd say change the entire player that I am.
Why do you say that?
Just change changed everything about me. Changed how hard I work now, how consistent, how disciplined, how I see training. And I look at it, I don't just train to train. I train to see why I'm doing it, what I'm working on. Just the little things.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you for saying that, Connor. Thank you a lot. I when I built this program is out of a place of wanting to help the player I used to be, someone who was really hard, wanted to play D1, was willing to do whatever I needed to, but didn't have the structure. And, there's times where it's like it's so like remote training is super new and our program is not necessarily new. It's 3 years old now, but we're always refining it, trying to give guys the best experience. And we put in a lot of effort, dude. So for you to say that means a lot. And I appreciate it. And what means the most though is like your results. I care more about your results than anything. And I know you're gonna continue to get more results, but from when you started, dude, to where you are now, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome, man. It's cool. Even for anyone watching this, again, I live in Denver, Colorado. Connor is in Los Angeles, and he's worked with me completely remotely. Well, he flew out to do a private one-on-one session with me. Him and his dad did. They had some airline points, and your dad's like, "Hey, can I come fly out?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And we got to have a session in person, and dude, that was just amazing. That was so cool to meet you because, like, I mean, I die on the hill of like, hey, remote in our program, we get to work with you each day. It's amazing, but just seeing a remote guy in person was so cool, dude. And I know we had like pretty deep talk that day, and we got
Yeah.
to work on stuff. But dude, like as I was working with you and going through everything, I was just like, man, this kid's on a different planet now. Like now the problems I'm trying to solve for you are way higher level than when you started. And that's really cool to see because, dude, there's always going to be problems. Next year, you're going to be a way better version now if you continue to do what you're doing. And now you're still going to have like higher level problems. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. But it's a matter of like, how do you go through with intention each day? So I think that's great, man. I wanted to ask you a little bit about online training. Let's start here, though. Did you work with an in person catching coach ever before joining our program?
Yes. Every catching coach I worked with has been in person.
Okay. And it was like one time a week for 1 hour and then
Yeah.
see him the next 7 days?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you feeling like you were making good progress with that? Or, what made you want to look for more catching help and then get into my program?
I felt I was making good progress, just not enough. And I just kept talking to my dad about consistency. Like I would see that guy once a week and then I just train what he taught me at home every day. I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. I just keep working on the same things. I talked to my dad about consistency, and then later on, he's talking to me about Backstop Built, and it's got to be probably the best decision I've taken so far.
Man, thank you. Thank you so much. It's amazing kids like you that make it to that standard where you're happy about it. Cause again, your hard work. So, okay, your dad brings up Backstop Bill. You see us. What were your initial thoughts from what we did? Were they positive, negative? Like, what the heck is this?
At first, I was a little confused because I've never really worked with someone that that's really remote, and I've seen programs kind of like it, but not as like detailed and big as this one. So my first initial thought was like, this, like, I'm not sure about this. And then when I first hopped on a call with you, our first one, I'm like, I was gaining more confidence in it. And I started seeing more of the program. Like this could really work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, okay, so we got on that evaluation call. And for anyone watching, this is like a free call with the parent and the player who's interested in what we do in us as an organization at Backstop Built. We're trying to see if they're the right fit for the players we can specialize in helping. And they're also trying to see like, okay, what is this program? What does it do? And we called an evaluation call. And that's what I got on with Connor. And then he decided to move forward after that, him and his family. But Connor, when we're on that evaluation call, or even before, where you kind of like, okay, what the heck? Like you just said, at what point were you like, ooh, I think this could be really beneficial, even if Coach Brock's not there in person to babysit me every day?
The consistency, and then also you kind of picking the people who you think is right for your program. Not not just trying to just grab anybody, just seeing if this guy is really worth having in my program. Not a lot of people do that.
Okay. So you kind of liked how we go through a screening process to see. Nice. Absolutely. What were your thoughts about remote training specifically before? Were you skeptical? Were you just curious? Or were you like, oh, heck yeah, this was going to work? Or were you like, oh, heck no, like there's no way this is going to work?
A little skeptical at first. I'm like, I didn't know how well it could be. It's remote, so I didn't know how well of like connection we kind of would build or like how much we talk and stuff. It's just more like, oh, you give me the program and then I do it on my own time. Kind of kind of like an app. But when I first got on, then I see that we can book calls and we have this program and then we can talk about everything and I can play videos and you give me back feedback. I'm like, this is honestly so much better than an in-person coach. Like I feel like I've gotten more over a week with you guys than a month with the coach.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's what it's designed. It's designed to, not focus on the delivery, whether that's in a cage in person or over Zoom or, app. Not focus on how information's delivered, but instead us giving you high level information and you focusing on that information in itself. Cause that's what players need. Like like what does Connor need to do custom to his deficiencies to improve his throwing? Okay, we'll show you that each day. Stick to the plan. Instead, a lot of people are like, I got to go into a cage one time a week and have that coach babysit me and like
Yeah.
feed the machine. So I'm glad you saw the value. If you had to compare remote versus in person training, which one are you taking?
If it's more of backstop bill, I'm taking remote.
Nice, nice. Why so?
Just the amount of effort you guys put in. And also, like I said many times, the consistency. You can't get that from a private coach. Really just can't.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, and that's what we try and work really hard to give you that experience, dude. So I'm really glad you're able to say that and have a good experience, man. It makes us feel really good. So Um, gosh, I feel like I've gone over so many good questions. I guess, man, if there's a kid watching this who's like you, or even a parent who's like potentially curious about getting in Backstop Built and working, what's one last thing you'd want them to know?
Stick through it. Even if it seems like it's not something for you, just stick through to the end. It gets better every time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know you're able to train with us out of season and in season.
Yeah.
Um, you're able to go through like two different curriculums. What were your thoughts about training in season on your catching development? Because I think a lot of parents are like, I don't know if my son should train in season, or a lot of kids don't think that.
Training a season for me was a big thing. Like for me, I'm the type of person to if I make a mistake in the game, after it or the next day, I'm working on it. It's that thing where in season, you play a game, you make a mistake, you have this program that you can work with after to help fix that mistake. So once you're working on it, the next game you go in, you're confident about it.
Yep, exactly. That's what it's designed to do. It makes no sense to train 9 months out of the year, then take 3 months off and lose those
Yeah.
gains, dude. So, dude, I totally agree. Well, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up, dude? Any last words, maybe about your experience, you and I being able to work together? I love you as a player and as a kid, man. You're awesome. And I'm very blessed to have had you in the program.
One last thing I'd say is getting to meet you in person was definitely a game changer for me. I was able to really up my level from there because I was able to not even like just the training, but also our talk. That's when I think we really shifted my own myself as a player. Because from there, I think you've also seen the consistency from that. And after the talk out in person, not on a video call, I was able something clicked. Where I'm like, I really need to step up.
I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm so proud of you. That talk was amazing. We got super deep and I challenged you and I was trying to coach you. And dude, you told me a long time ago you want to be D1 catcher and be the varsity guy in a really competitive baseball state. And I knew that's what you needed. And, look at you now. I know in the future at some point we'll be working together again. Even if I could just like catch up with you and I'll always
Yeah.
be in your corner in your career, dude. Or even if I just hop on a call with you and just, see how things are going, dude. But
Mhm.
I appreciate you a lot, Connor, and dude, I'm here for you. Backstop Built's here for you going forward, and you're a great kid. You're gonna do really big things. I can't wait to see the journey God puts you on and what you accomplish through the ups, through the downs, and how you get over that. But it was a pleasure to serve you, Connor, and thank you for being on here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Well, for anyone who stuck to the end, there you have it. That is the interview with Connor Mallon, absolute stud, going into a sophomore year, going to do some big things. Can't wait to see where he commits to as well. All by having the confidence physically and mentally to achieve what he needs to behind the plate. So, Connor, you're the man. And for anyone who's stuck to the very end and you're curious about, okay, how can I get on the evaluation call? How can I see if this is the right program for me. If you are a high level high school player who is going to make varsity or already on varsity, already playing on a good club team, already know that you want to be a D1 player and go to the college level, then go ahead, look at the description below in this video and you can book a evaluation call with me. I need both parents there. Um, and then we'll talk about your situation and we can go over it and find a time where they can be there. That's what Connor did and how he got in, was able to transform his skills, and now he's all happy, excited, and that's how it starts. So again, description below in this video, go ahead, it'll say apply to work with me. Click that link, go through, find a time that works for you and your parents to be there and go do it. Without further ado, Connor, I can't wait to be in your corner going forward. I appreciate you, dude. God bless you, man.